Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Well, hello, partner.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Good. Well, it's February. And in addition to it being Black History Month, it is also Heart Health Month. Time for us to talk about that most important organ in the body, our heart.
I just want to pause for one quick second and say, it's February?
I
Already?
know.
Not another
Teresa,
2023.
and almost, it won't be long before it's mid-February. I cannot believe it. So yeah, here we are. But we're going to talk about heart health today.
Mhm.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men, women, in all ethnic groups in the United States. That's the number one cause of death. I tell you, one person dies every 33 seconds in the U.S. from cardiovascular disease. Listen at this. There are 600,000 new heart attacks a year and about 205,000 recurring heart attacks per year.
You mean people having a second heart attack?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you this, my mom died from congestive heart failure. So I do know a bit about that after going on that journey with her through that illness. So of course, Teresa, we know that heart disease, some factors for heart disease include high blood pressure, rampant in our community, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, being overweight, being obese, an unhealthy diet, not exercising, and excessive alcohol use. And those are some factors which, make it more likely that you will develop heart disease. And some symptoms of heart failure are breathlessness after activity or at rest, feeling tired most of the time, and finding when you exercise, you're just exhausted and feeling lightheaded or fainting, having swollen ankles or legs. And Teresa, the way we discovered my mom was having heart problems, she was on her annual sister's trip, that started with my mom and her, siblings. And she was in Tennessee with her siblings. And one of her nephews, his mom was on the trip. He was the one designated to take them to the mountains that year. And he took my mom with her three sisters. And, he notified my other sister, my sister and brother. He said, your mom's just not doing well. We're just walking around. And when we take a few steps, she's got to sit down.
Oh, wow.
And, they were in the mountains. And she, my other aunts, who my mom was the youngest of the family and the female, and the rest of my aunts were doing fine. And he said, she's just not faring well on just when we walk. And so, of course, my sister and brothers, we all were on pins and needles that weekend. And when she got back, of course, we immediately made sure she went to the doctor. And that's when they discovered that she had heart failure. So heart disease typically found in men over age 45 and women who are postmenopausal. They're at the highest risk for a heart event. And of course, if you have a history of heart disease like I now have, that's a risk factor as well. Um, so to prevent coronary heart disease, again, eat a healthy, balanced diet, be more physically active. Make sure you maintain a healthy weight. If you smoke, stop smoking. Reduce your alcohol consumption. Keep your blood pressure under control. Make sure you keep up with that, not just when you go to for your annual visit or 6 months. You want to make sure that you're monitoring your heart rate. You know, they have all kinds of equipment now. You can wear your heart monitor, Fitbits, or you know, an Aura ring or whatever you may use to keep up with your heart rate. A normal resting heart rate is between 60 and 100 beats per minute. Factors like stress, anxiety, medication, how physically active you are, that impacts your heart rate. Also, you can practice breathing. If you don't want to do yoga, you can learn how to practice deep breathing. And for some of you who may be listening to this thinking, yeah, right, and just poo-poo that idea, that's a very real thing. Learning how to be intentional with breathing in and slowly breathing out. And that helps to calm your body. That's a signal sent by your brain to just slow things down a bit. So make sure that you're practicing that. And again, be mindful of your energy level. If you're noticing that you're tired most of the time and your ankles are swollen, make sure that you get that checked out. A normal blood pressure, of course, is between 120 over 80, and that may fluctuate a bit. But high blood pressure is usually considered 130 over 90. And again, check with your doctor on that. One other thing that I wasn't aware of that impacted heart disease, Teresa, oral health. Did you know that?
Yes. Yes.
Wow, I did not. Good oral health may also indicate a healthy heart. Recent studies have shown that patients with healthier gums have lower blood pressure. I did not know that. You knew that already.
I did.
Don't skip your regular screenings. Maintain regular visits with your primary care physician. And if you are diagnosed with a heart condition, don't think that it's all over. We'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah. So thank you, Lou, for that. And a nice segue into what I want to share. Yes, oral health is an indicator, right?
Did
So
not know
it has to
that.
do with the bacteria
Uh-huh.
that, we have in our mouths. Sometimes it's bad bacteria, and if it travels through, it can absolutely infect our hearts. Yeah. And it can actually kill you.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, a nice segue into what I want to share, some other lesser known facts about things that can impact the heart, like inflammation, right? It matters. While cholesterol
Yeah.
is often in the spotlight, inflammation within the arteries plays a significant role in heart disease. Research published in the journal Circulation found that high levels of inflammation measured by a marker called C-reactive protein can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes independent of cholesterol levels. Yeah.
Mm.
The other thing,
Independent of
independent.
cholesterol.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. So sleep is also crucial. We all know about getting our beauty sleep, right? So it's also heart healthy sleep. Poor,
Wow.
poor sleep habits, getting less than 6 hours a night have been linked to a higher risk of developing hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and they are all major risk factors, as you shared, for
Mm-hmm.
heart disease. A
Mm-hmm.
study in the European Health Journal even suggests that too much sleep, more than 9 hours a night, could also be detrimental to your heart health.
Mm.
Another lesser known fact, your emotional well-being, it matters too. It's not just about your physical health. Chronic stress, depression, social isolation, we've talked about this loneliness thing, can take a toll on your heart. The Journal of the American College of Cardiology published research highlighting the link between physiological factors and heart disease and heart disease risks. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, such as meditation, like you've mentioned, which deep breathing is a form of, or
Mm.
spending time with loved ones is crucial for your overall heart health. This is another one, Lil. You talking about your mouth. What about your gut? Did you know it was linked to your heart health?
Did not.
Yeah. The gut heart connection is an emerging area of research right now.
Mm.
Studies have shown that gut bacteria can influence factors like cholesterol metabolism and inflammation, ultimately affecting heart health. A
Wow.
review published in the Journal of Nutrients suggests that maintaining a diverse gut microbiome through a balanced, rich diet in fiber and fermented foods may support your heart health.
Wow.
hmm
Mm.
hmm
Mm.
And then just plain old listening to your body, right? It's essential to recognize the signs of heart problems, just like what your cousin did. He
Yeah.
acted immediately in letting you guys know, and you got your mom to the doctor
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
It can be your typical chest pain or discomfort. Those are classic symptoms. But there are other symptoms, like you mentioned, shortness of breath, nausea, extreme fatigue. All these should not be ignored. Trust your instincts and seek medical attention if something feels off. Don't let it go.
Wow.
Check it
Mm.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, navigating um, through this month, Heart Health Month, let's just remember prevention is key. By,
Absolutely.
by understanding these lesser known aspects of heart health, take proactive steps and care for your heart, and then we can all strive for longer, healthier lives.
Absolutely. And when you hear all of this, don't just think that if you are diagnosed with heart disease, that it's over. It is not. And Teresa and I don't want to leave you with that thought. The following stories are from the American Heart Association website. Teresa, you talked about the impact of emotional stress and that connection between emotional stress and heart disease. And I want to share about Janine Harris. 2 days before her 40th birthday, Janine was asleep at home. When she woke up, Teresa, you'll find this interesting, to her smartwatch buzzing
Mm,
incessantly on her wrist,
mm-hmm,
on her wrist.
mm-hmm,
Now, she had gone to bed exhausted, but for the past year, Janine had been the primary caretaker for her brother who had brain damage after a heart attack and stroke.
mm,
So she was jolted awake in the middle of the night. She felt her heart racing. Her breathing was erratic and she couldn't speak. Her watch showed that her heart rate was beating over 180 times per minute. Her daughter called the grandmother. Got her to the hospital immediately. Now, in addition, of course, her blood pressure was very, very high. As a result, she stopped breathing. Paramedics restored her heartbeat. Doctors found a problem with the electrical system of her heart. To correct it, they performed a procedure called an ablation. And as a result, 2 days later, she went home to actually celebrate her 40th birthday. Now, Janine works very hard to stay calm She focuses on breathing. Lesson from Janine was to an exercise monitor is a good investment. Practice self-care. You can't take care of others. You can't pour from an empty vessel. Take care of yourself, particularly when you're a caretaker. Practice deep breathing and make sure that you practice meditation. Another inspiring story came from Geneva Humdy, who had 2 heart procedures. And since then, she has celebrated her 70th birthday, and she did that with a half marathon. Geneva used to run marathons before she unexpectedly got diagnosed with heart disease. And she too was in the mountains like my mom. She was climbing, exhausted, knew something was wrong, got to the doctor. And through her procedure, she too had a procedure, and her main thing was, I'm a runner. That was shocking to everyone that she was not overweight, none of that. Her main thing after this was, I don't feel normal if I don't run. That was so hard for her. So she worked with her doctors, followed their instruction, and she's now back running again. She's completed several marathons since then.
At 70. Wow.
At 70. So all is not lost. If you are diagnosed with heart disease, you can fight your way back to health. And that's the message Teresa and I want you to take away from here today. And to also remember that because someone in your family has been diagnosed with heart disease or maybe died from heart disease, DNA does not have to be in your destiny. You can learn, you can practice proper nutrition and exercise so that your story is a better story. So that's our goal for you here today at Earrings Off.
Prevention is the key.
Amen, sister. Our very best to you here at Earrings Off, and here's to a healthy heart, not only this month, but every day, every month, every year.
Take good care.